All right, welcome back to Eagles and Birdies. We are here with JGixrod3, right? JGixrod3.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So welcome to the show and why don't you get us started and tell us a little bit about why you came up with JGixrod with 3.
Yeah, it was I work night shifts, so late at night I was just looking on Reddit and it was actually looking at just kind of researching golf simulators. So I had to make a Discord account. I was like, I didn't think of a clever nickname, and then I just kind of stuck with it. So it's like it's my initial, my just a letter in my last name. I kind of hate it, but it is what it is now. So
Yeah, hey, it works.
yeah.
Yeah, I've interviewed a few of you now where that's what it is. Not a whole lot of creativity on the Discord handle, but the creativity comes in the course design, I guess, right? So,
I guess so.
what's JGixrod? What's your name? What's your real name? You don't have to know your last name unless you want to
No,
do
it's Justin.
that.
Yeah. Anytime I talk with anybody over Discord, I usually like to
Okay.
introduce myself by my name. But yeah.
Nice, nice. So let's dive into this. So you've got how many courses you've got out on GS Pro? I tried to
Might
look
be
and
might be a dozen. Might be a dozen
some
of my own.
collabs, some
Yeah,
collab
I've got a
stuff
few
too, right?
collabs, but those are most of the other guys' courses. I've just done buildings and stuff for them, but probably a
Okay.
dozen of my own, something
Okay.
like that. Yeah.
So some Blender work is what you're saying with some of those.
Well, I don't use I use SketchUp. The guys that are really good at they use Blender, and
Okay.
Blender's I'm old and I can't learn new stuff, but I've just used
Okay.
SketchUp since for the last 15 years, so that's what
Okay.
I know.
Okay. So why don't we talk a little bit like how'd you get into the sim space and then stumble on GS Pro?
So I guess like just with golfing, I never really played golf last, I played a little bit, and I played hockey growing up, and with COVID, that kind of put an end to it. Plus, in my 40s, just kind of the team fell apart, and I didn't play anymore. So I had to find something else to obsess about. So I started going to the driving range and just whacking balls, and then I bought an R10, and I was
Okay.
using the R10 software, and then through Reddit or whatever, kind of got introduced to GS Pro, and so I had the R10 with GS Pro for a while, and I just really liked the courses. I thought they were so neat, and
Yeah.
I just kind of decided I'd like to do that and build them because they're just neat. They're all different, and so that's
Okay.
kind of how I got into it.
So you still using an R10 or what do you got now?
No, no, I the R10 I got rid of that last September, and I bought a GC2 from Stinger,
Okay.
and yeah, it's been great. It doesn't lie to you like the R10 does. I was thinking I'll shoot some straight shots with that R10, and it wasn't quite the
Yeah.
case.
Yeah, R10 is just a good, gateway launch monitor, right? Like get you
Oh
in,
yeah,
get you addicted, and then you go from there. I mean, I look
yeah,
on like the Facebook forums and stuff, and there's like 45,000 people in the R10 forums, and it's like those are
oh
all
yeah,
eventual, customers for Foresight and Unicore or not Unicore, but uh the iMini and all that, right? So like so many guys getting into it, and it's awesome that they can at least use GS Pro for it, right? So
wow, yeah, $1,000 and you got a golf sim in your garage, right? Like it's crazy. You never
yeah.
would have ever dreamt of doing that 10 years ago or
Yeah.
5 years ago, right? So
Yeah, I mean, 8 years ago, I had a sim in my basement, and like I just got a new screen, and like I took down my old screen and put a new one up, and I'm like, one, you couldn't source a screen like Carl's Place, and all those
yeah,
places didn't exist, right? So like I had a company out in California like make me a custom screen. It was just
yeah.
like finally woven together like nylon, and it worked fine. And now I got this new screen, and I'm like, holy cow! But yeah, 8 years ago, like whatever we could do, and now in 2023, like you said, $1,000 and you've got a sim in your garage or basement
You're
or wherever
golfing,
you're
yeah.
playing. Yeah, that's awesome. So you got into, you're like, hey, this is great, I'm gonna build a course. So like, do you have a background in computers or design or anything, or like I know a lot of guys are intimidated by it, so what's your story?
No, I mean, like a lot of nerdy guys are just spend lots of time on computers and willing to learn, but um, it's all. I mean, it's just. it's kind of just putting the time in. It's not really, you don't really need skills to do it. You just have to have the
Fine.
tenacity or the desire to want to build it, right? So
Gotcha.
I really wanted to do it, and I said I was going to do it, and yeah, I just kind of then you get sucked in. Then you get
Yeah.
sucked in. You just spend hours and hours and hours doing it. So
Yeah. So what's your most recent course you just put out?
so I did Cape Breton Highland Links a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
I like trying to do the Canadian courses, kind of the marquee Canadian courses. We got all kinds of builders from the US doing all the ones down there, and
So
we're
we got
starting to
you
get
and
Canadian
you
builders.
and
So
Rusty, you and Rusty Dave do the Canadian
oh,
swing.
Rusty, yeah, Rusty, he was only one every 6 months though, so he makes us wait for him because he
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Nice. Uh so a hockey player from Canada. What part of Canada are you from?
So from Edmonton area, I grew
Okay.
up in Saskatchewan. So
Okay.
anybody who's familiar with Saskatchewan, I grew up around Saskatoon. I worked in Regina, and then I came up to Edmonton for work about
Got it.
20 years ago almost. So
Nice.
it's home
Nice.
here.
So what's your do you play do you get out on the actual golf course or are you just a sim player?
I hate the actual golf course. I'm so bad at it. I hate it so much. I went out yesterday. I was like, because I'm off on vacation and I hadn't golfed much. And I was like, oh man, it's gonna be snow soon. I better go. So I went to the local course here, and I went as a single, and I got paired up with a bunch of 70-year-olds, and it was the
Oh,
worst. It was
okay.
the worst. Unsolicited advice, and you start struggling, and it gets worse. And yeah, no, I'm if I shoot in the 90s, that's a great round for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're like 18 handicap, 18, 20
I'd say
somewhere.
so. Yeah, but I mean, I
Bogey
can get,
player.
yeah, well into the triple digits sometimes too. Well into the
Okay.
triple digits still. So yeah,
Okay.
that's a better
Okay.
sim golfer than a real life golfer, and I'm not a great sim golfer either. So
Yeah, we played a couple of weeks ago. You played pretty well. He hit the
yeah,
ball a long way.
yeah. That's the thing about
The,
sim,
the
you just find your ball, right? Where
yeah, right.
in real life, it's in the
You,
trees.
you can always find your ball, but hitting a driver is just like a big slap shot, right? So
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's fun.
nice, nice. So yeah, family. You got kids,
Yeah,
wife,
yeah.
married, dogs.
Yeah, married. My kids are my daughter's 12 and my son will be 11 in January here.
Okay.
So we're past the tough stage with the family when with the little guys running around. I don't
Yeah.
miss those days. Um,
Yeah.
and I got a little dog here. He's 14 and
Okay.
he's having a hard time right now. We're doing everything. My wife got him an inhaler, a little chihuahua, so he's got like an asthma inhaler now. He's coughing all the time, keeping
Okay.
us up at night and just like having a
Yeah.
baby again.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's what happens when
Sure.
they get old. We had a little dog and she was like 15, I think, and past the summer. But yeah, they're when they get old, you're dragging them out into the yard and doing all
Oh,
that.
it's
So
tough. Yeah, it's tough. I got him a pee pad on the deck. Come here.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And okay, there you go. Yeah, so we had an old dog and then brought a puppy in so she could train her a little bit, right? So then you've got old dog you got to take care of, and you got a puppy who's running around like crazy. So
I don't know
yeah,
about puppies. They can be annoying. There's so much energy. Like they're
yeah,
cute, but oh my God, there's so
yeah,
much.
yeah. So your kids into golf?
No, no. My daughter, like she'll go and she's got a pretty nice swing and she could probably get into it. She does, they don't really have a burning interest in it. And then my boy, he's taking hockey slap shots with the stick there or the club and he's got no
Yeah.
interest. Maybe a hole and a half he'll play and that's not
Okay.
bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're going to slowly see more and more kids, coming to the golf scene because all the parents have these sims in their basement, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just convenient. I mean, imagine when we're growing up, if you walk downstairs or wherever your sim is, and your mom and dad had a simulator sitting down there, and you could hit a couple balls and go do something else. I think it should grow the game. You would think, or it's just
Yeah.
going to burn them all out. I mean, one of the two. So,
Oh yeah. I would have loved to have that as a kid, like to have just a practice like a sim, like a practice area just to I would have done it all the time, I'm sure, when I was a kid.
yeah.
Practice practice doesn't necessarily make you better at golf though, that's the thing.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. I was just talking to a buddy about, lessons. He's like, should I get lessons? And I'm like, I don't know. If they work for some people and they don't work for others. I've never had a lesson in my life. And then I've got other buddies who get lessons every week and they play really well. I think it's one of those things of it's you gotta continue to swing, right? And work your swing and figure it out. Get some help if you need it, but either I think you got it or not. One of those
Yeah, and I
things.
think even if you get lessons, if you're not open to what the guy's saying,
Yeah.
right? Like I'm so stubborn, I think I know what I'm doing, and I just can't be taught, and I'm just gonna swing how I'm gonna swing, and I guess that's why I suck. It's just I can't be taught.
So you play some sim golf. You play any SGT events at all or
Yeah, I play. I find like a lot of times I'll play one round of the tournament and like, that's enough. I played this course before, or the course will be hard. And I was like, whatever. But I play dog fights. I really enjoy that. It's
okay.
I kind of treat it like a weekly league.
Yeah.
Um, you gotta you gotta play your round, like it's sim golf, you can just double bogey the first one, shut it off, right? Where with that one, you gotta play, right? You get a tough start or you got a tough round, you got to play it through. So I really like that part of it, and it's recorded and it keeps everybody honest, and it's a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I'll play some of the SGT events and like they're easy to be like, yeah, but all right, I tripled that, right? Like, yeah, turn it off, not gonna play. I've been playing Pin Seeker. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yeah, you can play
Um,
it on GS Pro now.
no.
Oh, okay.
So I've got a GC3. So I've been using it with FSX Play.
Oh yeah.
And then I've got a Mevo Plus, so I'll use the E6 as well on that to play. But yeah, that makes it a little more interesting, right? Closest to the pin, and you're putting $2 down. You're not breaking the bank by any means, but like
Yeah.
you get like 3 shots, right? You better stay focused and hit it close. So
Yeah.
it's been fun. I haven't done any of the dog fights. It's we're coming into fall now, right? So I don't really play a whole lot of sim golf.
Hmm.
Play a lot in real life, but anywho. So a little bit more about you, Justin. Is outside of golf, what do you like to do?
Uh, I used to be kind of a useful guy. I used to be pretty handy around the house.
You
I used to,
used to
I do,
be.
yeah. And then as soon as I got the sim golf, it's just all I do is I play in the garage, or I'll work on it. Kind of consumes you, and it's kind of like so like I used to. I mean, I still do. I still work around the house, like I've finished basements and done that type of stuff, and I've got an old truck. I work on that thing, try to keep busy with that stuff. But I just find the sim golf stuff does it does take up a lot of your spare time. It's a hobby, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I feel it around our house, right? Like, oh, I'm gonna go, talk to Justin and do meet the designer, and it's like we could paint the house,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
yeah,
10
no,
years ago I was doing all that stuff, and now I was like, no, no.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So when you're playing sim golf, you got some music on. What are you listening to?
I'll listen to whatever. I'll just yell at Alexa there or Echo, and I'll just say play rock or play alternative or I'll listen to country. I don't listen to too much top 40. And
Okay.
I still kind of get caught and listen to the nostalgic 2000s alternative rock that kind of from the glory years, right? So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
If I had to pick a genre, it's alternative rock, and it's kind of a lost genre now. They don't really make it as much anymore. But the stuff from the early 2000s is what I used to like.
Early 2000s or like Nirvana, Pearl Jam. Is that
No, no, more like say like the Killers or that type.
okay?
That
Okay.
I guess Killers are still putting out music, but kind of that area. I
Yeah.
guess it would be like 2006 ish. That.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Good. What are you watching? Streaming or anything like that?
I haven't watched anything for a while. The wife and I we'd find a good series and we would binge it, and we watch most of the good HBO series, right? Like and like from Sopranos to uh Game of Thrones. I've watched The Office probably like 4 or 5 times, the whole series
Yeah.
over.
Okay.
It's so stupid, it just makes me laugh every time.
Yeah. How about The Wire? That's an HBO
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, I watched The Wire. I watched it once and it was kind of slow getting into it, and then it was so good when you get into it. It's been about 10 years since I watched it. Maybe I should get back and watch that again. That was really good.
Yeah, that one is like kind of gone under the radar, right? My buddy was
Yeah,
like, "You need to watch The Wire." In the first season, I'm like, I don't know, this thing, like you said, it's super slow, and now it's like my number one favorite
yeah,
show.
yeah, yeah. There's another good HBO one. I'm just trying to think of it. Oh yeah, there's HBO always has. They just have great series. They're just good
Yeah,
actors and well written. And
yeah.
yeah,
You ever watch Justified?
no, I haven't.
Okay, that's an older one.
Good.
It's good. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like that was like 6 seasons, 7 seasons. Another one where it's kind of like you start off, you're like, I don't know, what's this all about? Um, it's about a U.S. Marshal who's like down in Virginia and a little hillbilly-ish, and you're like, I don't know if this is what I'm into, and then it turns out to be pretty good. So
Oh yeah,
I think it's on Hulu right now, or it's been on Hulu. So that's a good
good.
one.
Good for all
Justified.
7 seasons. Sometimes you watch a series and it's like the first 2 seasons are great, and then they just kind of they're just terrible after that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely when it ended, you're like, oh man, I wish there was another season. I
Really?
think
I'll
they
have to
just
check it
dropped
out.
another season. It's completely different, right? But it's not anywhere near as good as the original, but uh good. So any words of wisdom? You talked a little bit about it earlier, like you just gotta grind through it. It's not that hard. Were you watching Master Blast's videos or just
Yeah,
like
like yeah, and like one thing I like to give the guys credit is, like the designer gets lots of credit. Oh, you built such a nice course or whatever. But like the tools that these guys gave us, it's crazy. It's just crazy how you can take a Google Maps overlay and you just
yeah.
trace it out and take it on a piece of land and put it all together. I don't know how they did it, but and then they made it. I mean, it's not a simple process, but they made it easy enough that anybody can do it. It's wild. It's wild what the tools that we have and the community that we have. I mean, if you have a desire to build it, the guys that will help you, and
Yeah.
you can do it. Anybody can do it. If you want to do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Like there's just new guys showing up and they've dropped their first course and it's like some of the best designs we've got, right? Like
Oh yeah, some of these guys
they,
come on the scene and they're just ringers too, right? It's like, okay,
yeah,
you spent some time in Photoshop before, like
yeah, exactly. That's
you're
what's
not
so
new to this.
exciting, is like is I'm digging through the betas or new guys are reaching out with, here's the flyover or what do you think? So I'm getting kind of a peek behind the curtain. I'm like, where'd you come from? Like
Yeah,
this stuff is incredible. So over the last couple, months, we've had
yeah.
some really good stuff, and then there's sleepers like you out there that or like Rusty we were talking about, right? Like, yeah, you sprinkle one in here and there, and it's like, bam, just another great course, So
Yeah, well, like when you get a rusty course, you know it's going to be quality, right?
yeah, right.
He's not pumping out one a month, but no sneak pics of Pebble Beach either yet. They're keeping that on the down.
No, I was trying to feed him the bait earlier. I don't know if you
Yeah.
saw on the Discord where I was playing Pin Seeker and I was on Pebble, right?
Oh
For
yeah.
a par three. And I'm like, here's what it looks like on FSX Play. Here's what it looks like on E6.
Yeah.
And both he and CE Sim Golf, they weren't taking the bait. I
They're
was
not taking the
asking,
bait.
looking
They
for
not even just like you just showed me those white buildings on the coast. That's all you could see was just the splining. But yeah,
yeah, I
top,
tried. I tried to get him
top
to
secret.
give us a little quick, peek at it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
nothing. And even Rusty was like, "Yeah, good try. We're not sharing anything." I'm like,
It's a
damn
secret.
it.
Yeah.
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 So is anything else on your radar? So you dropped one a couple weeks ago. What if there was one more that you wanted to build that's in,
No, I
Canada?
think I think after I get Jasper out of the way here, I was supposed to Rusty and I were supposed to tag team on that one. He's a lot better with the colors, and he can just make it a course look better. But I just kind of got obsessed with it, and I kind of ran with it. But after I get that, I know I probably get in the wintertime, I'll probably get guys asking me to do some buildings for them and stuff like that. So I don't
Okay.
mind doing that. I just hate having too much on the go. It's kind of silly to get stressed out about doing a hobby, but yeah, no more courses for a while. I'll find one eventually that I'll work on. But
Nice.
yeah,
Nice. Well, good man. Anything else that we don't know about you that we should? Now's your time
no,
to give a
no,
peek
that's
behind the
enough.
curtain. So I know
That's
I
enough.
like had to twist you a little bit here. Like last year, I was like, "Come on, you should join, go get on the show," and you're like, "Yeah, no, no." And then we played, and I think I might have got you on a good day. So
Yeah, well, I had my hair and makeup guy here today, so it was good.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
we got you booked. I took the opportunity the other day when you're like, "Yeah, I'll go on." I'm like, "Great, let's book you. No matter what
Well,
time you say, I'm going to make it work."
I like it's just you kind of get to know the guys a little bit, even like not even doesn't even have to be a designer, right? But there's guys that are they're visible on Discord, and just get to know the guys that you see all the time a little bit. I like it.
Yeah, no, we've got some I think we got a pretty good lineup for season 2 here. And some designers, some not potentially. And it's anybody who gives back to the community, right? Like you said, we
Oh, yeah.
all know we know our logo and we know the Discord handle, but we don't really know each other. Some of them hang out and golf together, but
Yeah.
there's probably 25 of us that are, I think, pretty engaged, and we all play together and test courses out. But the whole idea is let's just get to kind of know each other a little bit better. And
Yeah. No,
so
it's great. You get to, yeah.
yeah, so well, good. Hopefully we'll all get to play here. I've been waiting and testing the online handicap piece, so I'm gonna throw out that match play event, single elimination tournament. We're gonna get a bunch of guys on that, but been waiting and working with ATP to get the handicaps working, so we can actually play true match play, not have to just do it all manual.
Oh, like based on the handicap rating of the course on each hole or whatever.
Yeah, so if you're a 20 and I'm a 7, we can still play match play and online and
Yeah.
be competitive, right? You'll get your
Yeah.
strokes, we'll play off the low ball, and you'll get your 13, and I'll get 0 basically if
Yeah.
we were playing.
Yeah.
And try to get 32 guys, and we'll bracket it out and do like a designer match play event and see who the champion is.
There's a couple good golfers in the design group. There's a lot of hacks, but there's a couple good
Well, but
golfers.
but but with it being handicap, that's where we're gonna level the playing field out,
Yeah, fair
right?
enough.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes you high handicappers come in and whoop us because we're playing to scratch, and you're getting 10 strokes on us. So
Yeah, there's a level where you can't like you play too much handicap, and I mean a guy I can shoot 90 or I can shoot 105, right? It's like it's almost unfair for the high handicappers because there's more room for error for us, right?
sorta, I disagree. We can debate on that. I'll go real life. So I'm a 6 in real life, right? And
Yeah,
so if I shoot a 78, it's my handicap.
yeah,
um Chances of me shooting a 75 are slim, right? And that's
yeah,
only 3 below my handicap. But if you're
yeah,
an 18, you could probably shoot an 85,
yeah,
right? Easier, and that would be 5 below your handicap. Yeah, you could shoot 100, but you've got the margin for you to go below your handicap is wider than me shooting a 72. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Um, so, yeah, 1 out of every 10, you'll probably go below that. Those other 9, you'll be way over, but chances of me going that low are slim to none.
yeah,
I'll never shoot a
yeah,
72.
yeah.
At least I haven't yet. So, it makes it fun though, right? We had to get the handicap thing fixed though, and I'm still testing it out so we could level the playing field. So those good, those sticks out there, tech bud and whatnot, who are good sticks, that they're not just going to come and run away with the field. So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
cool,
Well,
man. Well, hey,
I'll take whatever handicap I can get. That's
whatever
great.
your SGT is, that's going to be
Well,
the
that's that's a vanity one because all the rage quit, so it's just like it's low. But that's just I quit all my
well,
rounds,
you
so
better start posting some
I
scores.
better start finishing my rounds.
Exactly. Well, hey
Yeah.
man, appreciate you sitting down with us and talking a little bit on your vacation. And hopefully we'll hear more from you and see more from you. And again, appreciate all you do for the community, all the collabs you've done and what you put out. So
Well, thanks for having me. This was fun.
yeah, and as always, thanks for watching Eagles and Birdies Meet the Designer, Sundays 8 a.m. And we'll see you next time. See ya.
All right. Talk to you later.